he's honestly one of the characters I'm most interested in learning more about. It's probably the issue with the most VeeFriend lore, like setting up the whole universe.
You kind of need him if you want to possibly become the best version of yourself.
That's what I go to Raccoon Island and get raided.
Totally going to
You're
Raccoon
excited
Island
for that? I know I'm not for everyone, right? I'm a lot to handle. I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, right? Exactly. Let's go enjoy a banana duct taped to a wall. I've gotten the most emotional in this issue than any of them. That got real deep from this. But that's again, like, this is what this issue did. Welcome back to Is It Canon? My name is Tom, and that is Ann. And today we are revisiting issue A, 1A. We're not supposed to call it a prequel, but it's definitely a prequel.
Nope.
Yeah. So this is kind of the one this was handed out at Comic-Con 2025. It was an exclusive there in a Walmart, and it came in a sealed pack like this, and you got a free sticker as well. And this is very connected to issue number 1, the first ever VeeFriends comic. And I notoriously was like, this is just a play, like a marketing stunt, a publicity stunt. We need something to hand out, throw a comic in there and blah, blah, blah. Again, I reread it. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time I've read it. I pick up some new stuff. I enjoy it, even more. It's DJ, man. I can write.
It was really cool when DJ was on way back in end of October, beginning of November, and we talked a little bit about this one. Hearing from him that this was already written before Comic-Con, so it wasn't actually made for Walmart or Comic-Con. It was already a part of there's more to the story. We heard that too, I think, from him or from Chris. Chris, who's the artist on this one, that it was already made and they just picked parts of it, which is, I think that's why it is so good. It wasn't like a last minute put together. The story already existed, which is really, really cool.
Right. So it was a publicity stunt, but it's actually a publicity stunt for the comic, not a gimmick thing for Walmart just to do. It was like they said that they have enough for maybe a 1B. So, and I know they want to revisit it, and I know that's a big push. You were just at a Comic-Con, but before we get into that, I just, first off, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm back from vacation, which was a blast. Went to Nintendo World. I didn't get this there, but I wore it there. And what a blast that place is, by the way. I talk about Zelda on here. There's no Zelda park. There's 2 kingdoms to it. There's the Mushroom Kingdom, which is like the Mario and Luigi and Yoshi and Peach. And then you go through a tunnel and then you're in Donkey Kong Country. So very, very cool. It's a lot smaller than I expected, but they pack it all in. There's fun little, you go to this place and you do this thing and you get a key, and there's 5 keys not hidden, but like that you go around and complete the challenges. And then once you get 3 keys, you can go battle Bowser Jr. in this extra thing. It's so cool. What an experience in Orlando. You got to go if you're into anything Nintendo. But,
by the way, Donkey Kong was one of my favorite games growing up. Like,
oh yeah,
I got a Game Boy at some point for Christmas, completely unexpected, and I think we had like 2 games. One was like Tetris, and the other one was Donkey Kong. So I played Donkey Kong all the time. I think it was Country, maybe, I don't know which one it was. Like, it's so long ago, but we played that game all the time.
It's a great game. It's a great series, and he's a great character. I didn't get to meet him. I got to meet Peach and Mario and Luigi. Didn't get to get Yoshi. You couldn't get close to Yoshi. It was his debut.
I mean, it's Yoshi.
I know, but it was his debut. They've never had a meet and greet of Yoshi until the day I was there.
What?
Because they're promoting the upcoming Super Mario Galaxy movie, the sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out a couple years ago. The sequel's coming out in like a month. So I mean, they had some exclusive promotional items. They had a popcorn bucket shaped like a star. My daughter wanted so Luma is a character, the princess in Super Mario Galaxy is Rosalina. One of the best games. That Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Wii like blew my mind when I played them. But that princess has a little like side character, Luma. It's a little star, and they had this toy that like you put a magnet and the thing sits on your shoulder, and if you walk by someone else wearing it, they started talking to each other.
No.
Not like moving, but like it lights up and they just communicate. It was so cool. My daughter wanted it. She's only 5, but she was like obsessed with it. And people were coming up. It lights. It was so cool. So they really do things really cool there. So yeah, that's what's new with me. Anything new and exciting with you?
I did something kind of like a canon collection.
Okay.
So when I went to Comic-Con, I went to Comic-Con in Seattle, and 3 of the people were there that we had on the podcast before. DJ was on there, Kate, and Todd Beats. And I started making them sign the comic they were on for.
Mm-hmm.
So Kate was on for Heartbeat,
Yes.
and then make them read more comics on it. So we have Kate.
No way.
We have Todd Beats read more comics.
Yeah.
And we have
awesome. Look at that one.
So
wow.
I think that as far as I know, Adam and Andy might be at Texas, and then we're gonna get theirs too. So it's gonna be the
Adam and okay. But what issue are we gonna? Oh, we were gonna have them sign 2. I mean 2. How are you gonna get
2 and 5? So
do you have a spare 2 for rips?
Oh my god,
they're not cheap anymore.
It is a canon, so is a canon collection.
I mean, I would like to contribute if it's going to be an is a canon thing, but if it's an is a canon collection, that's cool too. But that's an awesome set to have.
I tried to find like really good ones. I'm not sure if I have a good 2, but I'm also not sure like do they have to be graded or not,
They
or like
don't.
do I put them in like.
Let me save you. They don't.
Cool to have, and like either way. I need to change my wall anyways to like put them on like at least for the first couple ones of just. I mean, DJ technically was comic number 1, which I'm like I'm not buying, letting him sign a comic number 1.
Right.
But like we first time talked with him about that comic really in depth, so that's why I did his robot with him.
Listen, let's commit to right now as this podcast grows. Let's set right now in real time. Let's set a number of subscribers. It could be crazy. Like, let's say 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. On YouTube. When we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we'll buy a copy of issue 1 and have DJ write and remark the slab.
Okay. Let's do it.
We'll do that. I'm into it. Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
Also, right. I want you and me. I know you don't sign things. I would like you and me to sign a comic number 3 and write it on there, because it was the first time we really discussed an issue and we really got into what this podcast is supposed to be or like want us to be. So I would like us.
Special. That one's special. I will sign it. I don't like signing stuff, but I don't like. There's a reason, but there's also I have nothing to do with that issue, right? So like. People want me to sign a catfish. I didn't create the catfish. I didn't do the art for the catfish. All I did was I bought the catfish in 2021. So like, I get why people do it. It's awesome. I so appreciate it, but it's just not something like I feel weird signing stuff. I'll still feel weird doing it, but knowing that 1, it's not going to be for sale, and 2, like it's I'm keeping it or you're keeping whatever. We'll joint keep it. That's fine. We'll have it for our vault. Yes,
because we always talk about that was our first one where we really also the concept of rereading comics to really understand them was the first, I think for me at least, how important that was, and like us really pushing that with people was comic number 3. Like rereading the comic, and it's to this day like still like one of my favorite episodes we did. Yeah,
that one is special, and it's still the highest viewed one that is just us. So without a guess. So it still is. And I'm really glad people enjoyed that episode, because it was the one I've said it before. Like when we were done, I was like, that was just quality. Like I felt so good about that, and I enjoyed it. And that whole experience of rereading it really really got me into this. Like I was into this idea of doing the podcast, and it got me to read the comics and all that. But that one really like meant a lot. So yes, I don't sign much, but I will do
That's
it
it
for
with me.
that.
I've been keeping this for you from like
I know.
I've been like dying to tell you.
That is such a cool idea and such a great idea. So I'm excited to see the progression of that. But how was Comic-Con? Give us a couple minute.
It's a really big Comic-Con. It has 2 buildings. One of them has like 5 stories. It's different compared. I talked with Jen a little bit, who does a lot of the events for VeeFriends.
Mhm.
Like New York Comic Con, she felt too is much more commercialized, very big booth. Like you have the Marvels, the DCs, where it's just like these big displays, like the Walmarts and everything. And Seattle Comic Con really seems a little bit more indie. Like you don't really have a Marvel or DC booth, anything like this. It's smaller booths.
It's creator.
Yeah, way more of them. And yeah, if you talk to people, it's the people running it. Like it's the artist, it's companies who make different things. Like you're really, really close to the people, which I personally like because you get a creator story. You get like why they are there, why they created this, why these characters exist for them, which is very much I feel like what VeeFriends is still. Like when you go to a VeeFriends booth, no matter if it's a big one or just a table, it's you have some of the creators always there, which is the cool thing about it. And so I really liked it. But like again, if you expect New York Comic Con, it's going to be very different.
Mm.
But when it comes to Artist Alley, I would say it was probably twice as big as New York, which I loved. Like there was so many amazing artists, but also it wasn't just for like New York Comic Con was really just artist and their art, and this one was more artist and that also created different things. It wasn't just comics. Some made stickers predominantly, and that's what they sold. Some made like not to be like, but what was the other things like keychains and stuff. So I tried to do different things besides just having comics. I think that was a little bit outside the box. Maybe that was different to New York Comic Con.
That's cool. I would love to get there one day, but it's so far. Who wants to go to Seattle?
VeeFriends had just like a table, not in the artist alley, like kind of next to it. It was still a cool experience, but it definitely shows you that the West Coast, a lot of people just don't know about VeeFriends at all. It's an East Coast thing still. I mean, VeeFriends in general is very small.
Sure.
But because
Gary's a Northeast guy.
Yeah. And most of the events have been happening on the East Coast. So even like LA, I feel like has a lot of VeeFriends.
Yeah.
But we also had VCon there.
Yes.
I feel like there is more. There's not a lot of stores that, if any, who carry VeeFriends. So it's most people did not know what it is, but we're interested, which was cool to see. Just like getting people into it and getting people excited about it. There was one funny story though. There was this guy. I don't know. He's never gonna watch up, so I don't care. He was like a little, in my eyes, a little snobby, and we were talking about the different comics and stuff, and like I pointed out because we had just recorded about Minakawa. You know how we talked about that the art was so like you could see the movement. So I'm like standing there and like this is so fun. Like we really like this art, and then he's like, it looks like a 17-year-old made that. And I was like, okay.
What does that even fucking mean? Like,
I was like,
that's first off, that's bullshit. But second, like, so.
Listen, I'm okay with saying like you don't like there's some art in like the comics that I'm not drawn to, and I'm totally cool with people like are not. It's like it's not my art style. Totally cool, but like he was such a like I know everything
about it.
Yeah, it was just like okay, buddy. Like
right
at that point, I was like just wait it out until these like I'm open to everybody, but just having to be just.
You shouldn't be at a Comic-Con. Like this is comic book art. Like this is. You know what I mean? Comic book art can be fine art, like, but you're not at a fucking gallery in Monaco, you stuck up douche, you know? Listen, everyone has their opinion, art is subjective, but, you know, objectively, like everyone that I've talked to about Minakawa has thought that the art was, you know, electric and just loved it. They loved it. So I don't care.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Go enjoy something else. Go enjoy a banana duct taped to a wall.
I know.
You know,
I
like
talked with DJ after too, and the DJ was like, a lot of the comic people who are like think they know something want this hyper realistic art. And
yes,
it's a lot what you see at Comic Con too. Like it's very, it was
sure,
funny. Like I took my daughter on Sunday of it, and let her like see like all the different artists because she does a lot of art, and I wanted her to see what's possible in the
sure,
future. And she felt like because she creates her own characters and they're not realistic at all. That's just her art style, and she felt like, yeah, that's not really art like mine. I was like, so it was cool for you to for
that
her
is cool.
to see that, but she was, and I felt like, do you feel like you're not fit in? It was like, no, it's just they're not doing art like I do, and it was like, good, I like
Yes,
that. I like
I'm
that
glad she
point of
wasn't
view.
discouraged because like
Yeah.
you can sit, but like seeing VeeFriends art and some all the different artists that like she'll find someone that like that's what influence is, right? So like
Mhm.
Alex Ross is one of like the top biggest name in comic books that does hyper realistic. He's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I
Mhm.
really, really enjoy his stuff. Um, but that doesn't mean that that's all I can enjoy. Like and that art style, like it doesn't fit everything.
Mhm.
You know, you're drawing mythical creatures. Like, do I need hyper realistic art on something that's not realistic? I don't know. Like if that's all you're into, then that's all you're into, then fine. But like you didn't have to put one down,
Mhm.
and that's where that's where it became. If you're just like, it's not my style, I'm not that into
Yep.
it. I was when I was 17, but now I'm really into this.
Yep.
Way less of a douchey way to say it. So
Mhm.
anyway, um, well, I'm glad that was fun. I know we were texting while you were there, and you got to meet you got some good inside info, which I don't know if we can share yet, but a lot of fun stuff.
Mhm. I'm excited.
Yeah. And you brought up VCon. I don't know if that's too sore of a subject for today. Timestamp it today. There was a leak of it was like a keynote or something that Gary did, and he mentioned a specific month, a specific time, not a date, but like a period in that month and a specific place for VCon. What do we think about it? Should we talk about it? I want to talk about it.
I mean, he also rolled it back after.
He sure did, or tried to.
So I don't like, again, so what
Damage
I've seen on the
control.
timeline, what I've heard from people, to not be named, I feel like, and also when that keynote apparently was made was beginning of the month. So it's apparently been 2 or 3 weeks. So what I personally feel right now is that there is a plan to have something. I don't know if they're gonna call it VCon around that time on the on the East Coast. Because they still haven't announced the final tournament for the TCG for VeeFriends
Mhm.
for a reason. I feel
Okay,
like otherwise they could have just said like it's going to be at Comic Con. That's what we're all thinking
sure.
because that's in October. That they still haven't announced that it's going to be Comic Con gives me more an idea of like I think there's going to be an event. Maybe they haven't locked down the exact weekend, the exact venue, or how they're going to do it. Or maybe the idea was to do it and they couldn't make it happen until then because throwing a VCon is a lot
Of course it
to.
is, but you have to be pretty far along to specifically say, here's where it is, here's when it is, here's the dates, not the dates, but like middle of the month, and then we have an event called VCon, like
Mhm.
knowing that it used to be for just the NFT holders and now it's for the pub. That's a lot of information for just something. If he just said like, oh, we're going to try to do it this year, where maybe it'll be local, it wasn't a tease.
Mhm.
It was like matter of fact. So, I think they're rolling it back. I think that, it might fast track the announcement. I think it's going to come out personally. I think that they want to control the release of the information. They don't like that someone posted it. We won't name who. And they had to roll it back. Gary himself had to comment and say that, not confirmed, blah, blah, blah. It's not confirmed. Their official announcement will confirm it. I think it's all true.
I think there's still gonna be something happening in October. Just of like what I've been hearing.
Yeah, something's going to happen in October. It's this. This is what's happening in October. It's not confirmed because they haven't officially announced it, but I think all of the things he said were true. And I'm excited as hell.
They're going to announce it at Texas. If that's what's the plan.
Ooh.
Because here's the thing. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed. Listen, I'm just saying things right now. We can always cut them out.
Well, you don't know anything officially.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
You
no,
got.
I don't.
Listen.
I don't work with or for VeeFriends. I don't know anything official, but I talk to a lot of people. I read a lot of stuff, so I'm just trying to put. I have my weird walls. If you know me.
Oh yeah.
So, Andy and Rips were supposed to go to Comic-Con next weekend in Florida, the MegaCon with DJ. And now I know they're not going there anymore. I've heard from Bro has told me on Community Night that he had talked to Rips, that Rips is coming to Texas. That's how I know Rips is coming. And then Ben on a stream said, we talked about karaoke, and he made kind of a joke of like, well, if Andy would sing with me, I would sing karaoke with him. And Ben is one of the organizers. So if he drops a name, I have a feeling he knows that he's coming. So now that Andy and Rips are both not going to Comic-Con in Orlando anymore and coming to the Texas meetup, it's kind of a bigger deal, in my personal opinion. They don't send them everywhere.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know if they're supposed to like announce something, because last time they announced something when they were they had their finals for the TCG.
Well, then Texas is about to be lit. It's going to be so much fun.
There's going to be a lot of people and a lot of OGs. So I feel like it would be the place to announce something.
I have heard of some people dropping out, community-wise, which is a bummer. But I think that although I've tried to register for the thing and it keeps telling me it's, unauthorized or something. So I got to look into that. But, there's a lot of spots. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Okay. That's enough of the alpha speculation corner. I think it's all true. I can't wait for the announcement. I am a little bit bummed because I feel like we have to split and decide between one and Comic-Con, between VCon and Comic-Con. It's either on the same weekend, which is a bummer that I'd miss it, or it's back-to-back weekends, which I can still do. I'm local, but like you won't go to New York one weekend and then VCon the next.
It would be really, really rough, especially October.
Right. So I'm only saying that I think you physically could, but like that's a lot being in the Northwest on the West Coast to do New York and then Florida. So like for me, one's a train ride. If it wasn't, I won't go 4 nights or whatever I usually do, but I can shoot up there for 2 days.
Yeah. I was like, when I heard Miami, I'm like, I couldn't. That's like literally the furthest in this country away from me. And I was like, you couldn't have picked another one.
No. Right. Yeah. No, that's the furthest it could be. I'm excited because I love Florida. So that's cool.
I mean, I'm excited because I know Miami has a Raccoon Island. I found out like a month ago. It's like, yes.
That's what I go to Raccoon Island and get rabies.
I'm totally going to
You're
Raccoon
excited
Island.
for that? You did say you wanted to be on an island.
You can canoe over there, and then like the raccoons come to you.
I don't want them to come near me.
I do.
They're diseased rodents. They're like swimming to you. You're like, oh, and then they bite you, and then you die. So
you do know Texas has raccoons, right? That's the main reason I'm coming to Texas.
They stay away. I don't want an island of them.
No. Ben has them in his ceiling.
I know, and I'll gut one and we'll cook it for lunch.
If there's no more raccoons left when I come on Saturday, you are in so much trouble.
I'm fucking stabbing that bitch in the face. You're not giving me rabies. Fucking raccoons. All right. Issue 1A.
Let's get into
it. All right. After we're going to go through issue 1A, we're revisiting, and then we have some fun segments. So please stay because we have a newest segment that is probably going to be a complete disaster. This is something they all are, but this one is like especially complicated, and we're both going to go down in flames, not just one of us looking dumb.
Which is usually me, but that's fine.
Right. Well, no, we'll numb that. got me. And then what password I didn't do that great on either. So please stay for that. Okay. 1A. Again, just to reiterate, I went through it and God, I like it a lot.
Mhm.
I really do. It's probably the issue with the most VeeFriend lore, like setting up the whole universe
Mhm.
of any of them, because
Yep.
it's not just about a specific character, like a lot of the issues are these days. It's about VeeFriends as a whole, just like issue 1 kind of was. You know, we got introduced to a bunch of characters, you know, Mikey and all that. This is not the continuation, but it is a more of that story, even though there's some carryover characters. It's mainly about Mikey's dad,
Mhm.
who we know in issue 1 passed away. This is not a prequel, but a prequel
Mhm.
of his story.
Yep.
And like the helmet, a lot of origin stuff here, and
Yep.
VeeFriends lore. So
Like, he just plays a really big role in VeeFriends, which
it
makes
does.
it crazy that this was a comic that was only available at Comic-Con, or if you
Yeah.
bought it. So I feel like there's a ton of people who will probably never know about this comic, and at some point when they're really into it, figure out that this exists.
Well, you know, it was given out for free. I feel like it was pretty mass produced. We don't know the print run of it, but like
Mm.
they were giving them out for free. So I think that it'll be the one that I think you can find most readily available, because it's not numbered. Not that I know that not all of them are numbered, only the special ones, but like we don't know the print run. But I don't know, like ones these days are 10,000 print run. It might not have been that much, but it should have been. And it's anytime someone gives something out for free, I feel like, you know, people value it less because they got it for free, so that if they can get $5-10 for it, they will. I don't know what the market is currently.
I'm not saying I think it's gonna be easy to like easier to find it online, though they're quite pricey because most of them come in the sealed pack with the
With
sticker,
the
so people see it
sticker.
as a
Okay,
big collectible.
that's fair. Or
But I feel like
graded, because a
it's
lot of them
less
got
likely
graded.
that somebody has picked it up. Like, you need to know that this one exists.
That's true. It's
I think
not in
that's
the
more.
regular numbering.
Yeah.
So you're right. Okay. I
And I
want to
think
pull it up.
the whole comic starts off probably with my favorite page.
Yeah, the balance beetle. Yeah, I have one of my first note is I just adore that page. The words on it, all of
Mhm.
that. I'm
Like,
pulling it up
Ben's
now.
Beetle has definitely become, like,
It's like the
a
most
character, like, I
insightful.
really, really like just because I struggle with it so much, with balance. But just, like, what he says, like, at the like, this sentence on the last panel is like, "The secret is there's a third player on the field, somewhere in the middle, your true self. If you find that, you not only win, but unlock a whole new level." Like,
Yeah,
that was such a
I
like,
know.
I think
It's
we've all been in there of, like, this when you finally allow yourself to be yourself is such a big message, I feel like, that
correct.
Gary always preaches, and, like, that's a big part of, like, just personal work in general if you've been through that, and a lot of I feel like a lot of us die hard within VeeFriends are in their 30s, mid-40s, and, like, are in that stage of, like, kinda, like, going over your life, and it's like, "Am I being the
What
person I
am I
wanna be,
doing?
or
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be?" You know, like, we are in that stage right now, and I feel like
Yes.
this just hits so hard with our age group.
Yeah, this issue hits several times. I think I've gotten the most emotional in this issue than any
Mhm,
of them. Probably because it's a father-son
mhm,
story. Um, which I'm a son and a father. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
I can definitely it definitely hits in the feels in several places. You know, anytime life and death gets brought up
mhm,
in anything, right? Music or comics or literature, movies, whatever. It's just like it makes you go to that place. It really sets the tone that like, okay, this is not fun. You know, you can have fun in it, but it's not light toned. Like this
mhm,
is not your let's just go in casually or whatever. Like this really this page sets the tone for this issue, that you're not in for, you know, shallow, you know, surface level type of a story that's just going to be fun and you have a good time to escape for, you know, 10-15 minutes. This is
mhm,
not that. Which, you know, people see these little cute characters, they might think that, but there's depth to it. So I agree. I have written down that I love this first page. It's similar to like same sort of vibes of Viking issue where, those first few pages, you're just like, fuck, I didn't expect that in a VeeFriends comic. And this one's right out the gate, page 1, it's
which I like when they do that at the beginning. I feel like a lot of times like comics have that at the end of it. Like you go through the issue and then you have this high end moment. I like that they do it at the beginning because if you're new into like getting into VeeFriends comics, I feel like you might not make it to the end. So I feel like some comics you just have to make a splash at the beginning and show them what this universe is supposed to be about. And I feel like it is about learning about yourself and about others and like all the things you go through and like how to deal with them. That's what VeeFriends in my opinion is about. And I feel like having that in the beginning is just like
it's a great hook.
Sets the tone.
It's a great hook. It does set the tone and it makes me want to keep going. Like, okay, oh, we're going there. And it's like, okay, lock in because this isn't like a casual read. Okay.
Yep.
So going through, we start 8 years ago in 2017, right? Because these all came out in 2025. And so 8 years ago, 2017, we open up on Mikey's dad. What's his name? Eddie, Big Ed, whatever. And, he's working. It seems like at this point, he's trying to figure it out of like, how did the VeeFriends get here and where are they from and how to travel. And he's working. And then his son comes in who we know that there's this VeeFriends connection between them. And this, again, right out the gate, you know how many times a week I'm working on my computer at home and my son comes in and asks me to play a video game or do something. And I'm like, I'm a little bit buddy, but okay. I'm a little bit busy, but yeah, let's do it. And so like this plays out weekly in my house.
Yeah. I think it's just like what parents want. You want to find something to connect with your kid with, like something you both like enjoy. Because we've all been there as parents that your kid was into something and just like, it just doesn't click with you. And it's like, it's really hard. Like you make yourself enjoyed with them, but it's just not the same. But if you find that thing that you both enjoy and you just like can talk about, like you just have this connection with your kid that's naturally there in that moment, and you can share a passion together or a hobby together. I think it's super important to have that, to find that.
Yeah. So that again, that page, real connection there with me. And then we get into the deep stuff of the lore, right? Because now I love this part because it's like it has a picture of a panel of a building that looks like a university or college, building. And you have Eddie in front of the whiteboard talking about the realms, right? There's the layers. The first layer is yourself. The second layer is you plus your thoughts. And then you see word bubbles like someone, like he's a professor, right? He's teaching a class. And it's like, oh, like words and pictures. He's like, exactly. And then there's the third layer and then this. And then it just like you think it's to a group of college students. It's to 4 VeeFriends.
Yep.
That are just sitting there. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, so this is where we learned about the 5 dimensions, mainly the 5th one being where the VeeFriends come from.
Yep.
So the 4th layer is the imagination. So first is yourself, second is you and your thoughts, third is the thoughts becoming things in the material world. That's the world we all live in. The 4th layer is the imagination realm, where ideas, dreams are stored across time and space. It's kind of just like imagine, it's your imagination. It's all your dream state, your whatever, right? And then there's this 5th dimension, which is where VeeFriends come from. And they all just are like, sounds good. What does that mean? You did figure it out. But more than that, he goes into, so this zone here, which he's going to call the zone, is the highway between them all, right? Am I getting that right?
Yep.
Okay. And they're trying to figure out how to get there, or he's explaining how, because it seems like they don't know how they got here, or he's trying to figure out how to get them back, something like that, or just how to travel in between. And he shows this, vehicle the vehicle that we learn in issue 1 is it was built from him in this time where he figured out how to travel. And it's basically just a car made of the material that the helmet is made of. I don't think I caught that in the first 2 or 3 times.
No, like when I read back today, I was like, I don't remember that.
Right. It's just so it transforms, but then they have a panel of him as we're working on the positive energy array helm, which is the name of the helmet, which we know amplifies emotional energy. So that has already been created, and that's the helmet that was in issue 1. It also attracted zone energy, pure ideas, which this is the zone that connects all the dimensions. It felt like magic, and if we make this vehicle out of this material, it will channel the zone energy from the helmet and open up the highway to the 5th dimension. So, that's a lot of like world building, because that's all like DJ's mind child, unless like that's a thing that I'm just like too dumb to know. And he's just applying it to VeeFriends. That's a lot of lore and world building. And I think it's awesome.
Yep. I also like that it says that it amplifies emotional energy. It doesn't say positive energy.
Right.
Whatever emotion you're feeling, that's what it's going to amplify.
Right.
Which I feel like is important for like then understanding why certain things happen in issue number 1 with the helmet. Like depending on who wears it and why it's can be dangerous in the wrong hands. Like I think most things in comics or like movies and stuff, like everything you create, and it's in real life too, anything you create in the wrong hands can be used as negative.
That's right.
In a negative way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like weapons, it always ends up being like government bad. They're going to take this and weaponize it and all that, but you're right. Practical Peacock does say, but it might be dangerous in the wrong hands, those with bad intentions. And then it pans to bad intentions who, at this point, because this came out after issue 2, correct? It came 1, then 2. I mean, I don't know how many came out before. Well, we do know because 5, 6, and 7 came out at the same time as this. So 4 issues came out at Comic-Con. So we had 1 through 4 at this point.
Yep.
So we know bad intentions is fairy, right? And turned bad.
But people coming in now and not having read that, they will read 1 and 1A.
Right.
And then go into 2. So they're going to be like completely thrown off because there's some things in here that refer to comic number 2, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like the
point goes out because, we know, do you mean like the carrot being a wand and all that stuff? Okay. So, yeah. So we know that if you're reading this chronologically, this is not numeric wise, because like issue 2 takes place before all of these, right? But as they release if you read it in release order, you already know when you read this. But if you read it numerically, if you read 1 and then 1A, you're being surprised. Like there's a twist that he, betrays him and he's been lying and all this stuff. And then you read issue 2. It's like it rolls right into issue 2 and you're like, what happened? I thought these were VeeFriends. Like, why is he a bad guy? And then you'll read issue 2 and be like, oh, that's his whole thing.
Yeah. And on that page again, like he seems like a nice person, like a nice character, I guess, not really a person. And like tries to warn Eddie, like there's like bad guys coming, and like he's trying to hide all this stuff, and like he opens this portal, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
To like the next realm, world, whatever we want to call them, to hide everything there because we don't want the helmet or all the information to be stolen. At this point, we still think he's like a good character because like if you look at his facial expressions drawn, like he looks genuinely concerned. Like he's doing a good job, like playing the part.
Yeah, because in the first panel with them all, he's got this big smile on his face, like he's cool. Now what? Like he's interested, and then he's contributing, and then he goes, and then he's the one who points out that the government or whoever is coming in. So he seems like this was his plan the whole time. Now,
Mhm.
he says everyone down in here, and he takes the helmet and the plans with it. In issue 1, the helmet is lost on Burn Island, right?
Mhm.
So is that where we assume they're going to? It's a portal to. So like they're sitting here trying to figure out a vehicle to drive to V World, V World,
Reworld.
yet he can just do it
Mhm.
because like the helmet goes there and then they find it, you know, in Burn Island at that Coliseum in issue 1. So is that where they're going, I assume? And he can just go to the portal, like make a portal to V World while they're sitting there trying to create a vehicle that can go to V
Mhm.
World. You know what I mean? So that part I would want more clarity on,
But I think it's because not everybody can do that. He can because he has these
the
magical
wand.
powers with his wand.
Yes.
The rest of the VeeFriends can't, and then that's why they
That's
need
fair.
the vehicle. I feel like
Perfect.
I don't
That's
know
all I
where they're
needed.
going right now. I hope that that's gonna be 1B
Yes.
in between this and Burn Island, like when they met Mikey and they go to Burn
Right.
Island.
Well, there's a lot of time in between because
Mhm.
in issue 1, I think that's current day, right? So that would be 2025. So this is 8 years prior, and this issue ends. There's a little bit of a time jump, but only 1 year. It ends in 2018. So there's, 7 years
Mhm.
that they can kind of do some more here. So, which is awesome though, because especially
I
they have
think
that.
they're not going, at least not all of them are going to Burn Island because when they go in issue 1, all of them seem very like it's the first time for them being in that Colosseum, looking at
Okay.
everything, exploring it. So I feel like they're going somewhere. I don't know if he sends them somewhere else because Bad Intentions is not a number 1. Am I wrong?
He's not.
No. So like he is,
It's the same team, except instead of Bad Intentions, it's Cynical Cat.
yeah. So I wonder if they work together too.
Maybe.
Cynical Cat, because Cynical Cat is the one who found the helmet then. He knew.
Right.
So he
So
probably knew from Bad Intentions.
right.
So Bad Intentions hid it there. So he at some point, he, she, whatever,
Whatever.
went to Burn Island at some point. I don't think they did. Because they seem like in issue 1, this is all new to them.
Right. So we can assume that because Bad Intentions is the only one that came back.
Mhm.
So, he could have
True.
whatever
Mhm.
they could have went through, and then Bad Intentions took the helmet to Burn Island, stashed it there for whatever in
Yep.
the future. So yeah, Bad Intentions is the only one that comes back. He gets, while they're in the portal, the like military or SWAT guys who come in, give a warning to Eddie saying that if you see a little bunny with a carrot, don't trust him.
Mhm.
And then there's a card. Whatever you do, do not touch the carrot if offered to you. It's poison. If you see something, say something, gives him his card. That was a close one. And then Bad Intentions comes back, and basically the whole reveal of he betrayed him.
Okay, I have a question. So the
Mhm.
guy who was like on the SWAT team says, "We know what you're doing here at Metal Co."
Metal Co. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to read it like backwards. I'm like, they didn't just randomly pick a name. That has something. That has some meaning.
I wrote down Metal Co. in my notes as well, because I'm like, what does that, like, is it because they're meddling in some
Yeah, it's
whatever
like
type of thing? I don't know. We also learned the last name's Pinsky. Did we know that? Because he says,
yeah,
"Don't worry, you're not in any trouble, Mr. Pinsky."
I did not know that.
And like, I don't think we knew that throughout all of issue 1,
No.
and it's not brought up, so I don't know if there's anything like that. But you're right. We know what you do here at Metal Co.
You could have said like what you do here.
Right.
Why name it? And like
Why?
why have such a specific like it has something to do like maybe it's a name of somebody that at some point will play an important part.
Yeah.
So somebody's funding this.
Right. What I think DJ is very good at is throwing something in there. And even if he doesn't have a plan, it's just something that it's just like a little branch that eventually one day he can go back and expand on.
Mhm.
That's one of them. Where did the portal go is another one. You know what I mean? There's a lot of these things that you could just pick up and make a whole story out of. Okay, now I want to know more about Metalco.
Mhm.
What else? Who else works there? What else are they doing? It could be like Oscorp in Spider-Man, where like a lot of the villains,
Mhm.
especially in the Ultimate universe, like all the villains are created at Oscorp. Where, but even in the regular universe, like a lot of things come from it. It's like the main thing, or there's a whole bunch of companies like that, Roxxon and all this stuff in Marvel. So like, is it just like they could make a whole world around that,
Mhm.
and it could be, and it's just, I think DJ's really good at leaving
Yep.
little breadcrumbs there that he can pick up later.
I think it means something. We just don't know yet what it means. They don't just pick a random name.
Right.
Like, I also like that it came up with his name, that he thought his actual name was Roger.
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit. It's like, come on.
He says, I can't believe you fell for that. I think that's just like a funny little thing, but like I remember mentioning that when we had DJ on, and I'm like, there's a lot of like just like funny quips in here, especially Flex
Mhm.
and Fox, like the Madonna reference, the
Yep.
Transformers reference, the all this like there's humor in it, but then like, okay, there's the betrayal part of it. He Bad Intentions, especially in two. I almost want to revisit two. I haven't read two in a while since we did
Mhm.
the episode, and like I feel like the most compelling villains are the ones that think they're right.
Mhm.
Like they're not. They don't. Like they feel like they're doing the right thing. So like I don't know if I'm reaching here, but like challenge brings the change. That's what Beetle says. Who do you think creates the challenges? None of
Mhm.
this works without me. Like he feels like he's so pivotal to all of this.
But I think, call me crazy, I think he's right. Like, as crazy as that sounds, but, like, we both know, like, we haven't you grow more from challenges than you grow from something great happening to
100%.
you, because you have to. So I think when you said that, like, I wrote that part down too, like, the challenge brings a change is a big part of, like, it was a mostly of the cartoons, I feel
Cartoon,
like,
yeah.
but it is part of VeeFriends in general, of, like, in but he is right, like, nobody's gonna grow if you don't have challenges. If
Of
everything is
course.
just peachy all the time, it's like,
Right.
so as much as he's a villain and you don't wanna like him, you also know that you kinda need him if you wanna possibly become the best version of yourself,
I guess. I mean,
which
adversity
is hard,
does.
but, like, all those challenges that you hated in the moment also made you who you are. As much as they sucked, like, I don't think looking back, would I wanna go through them again? No, but I also know I would be a different person if I hadn't gone through them.
Right. You might not want to go through it again, but you wouldn't undo going through it
Mhm.
once.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I mean, so in that circumstance, he thinks that he's a good guy. He's doing like he has to be a bad guy. He's just playing the part, right?
Mhm.
I'm the reason that everyone's getting better.
Yep.
So no one might like me, but they don't realize it yet, but I'm the reason they're all getting better at whatever. So like, who knows? That
And I
it,
feel like it just would fit in,
that
like, I think we've always questioned why there is negative characters in VeeFriends, like, it's supposed to be about positivity and us, like, being good people, and then, like, why are, like, Sonic a cat or bad intentions in this? But then, like, then you understand that I think it's not just growing from those moments, but it's also for me sometimes when I question myself, like, are you really, like, doing your best? And I do look at bad intention people and Sonic a cat people, I'm like, I'm doing okay. It makes me
well,
feel a little better about myself of like, you're not doing that bad. Like, you could be
well,
like that.
I think it's very apparent. So there's not that many V friend villains, right?
Mhm.
They've said the burglar, cynical cat,
Mm.
but bad intentions to me is the like arch villain of this whole universe. I don't
Mhm.
think they could build. He's already got so much depth, just from the this issue and issue two, so much depth of it's like basically it's the Joker. You know what I mean? Like he, and that's the the reason that Batman, Spider-Man are like the best superheroes is because they're the most popular, they're the most known, they're people's favorite. People's most favorite is because they have the best villains in
Mhm.
all of comics. Like objectively, Spider-Man and Batman have the best rogues gallery in comic books. It's just, and they're the two most popular characters, in comic books. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Mhm.
So like you need that balance of good villains to show how good the hero is. And
Mhm.
I just like Bad Intentions is that. He's the Green Goblin, he's the Joker of this VeeFriends world. And I don't see like Cynical Cat did some bad things in issue 1, put the helmet on, but once the helmet got knocked off, he was part of the crew again. Like he's still riding with them. Like Bad Intentions had them all fooled. He could have brought them down into the portal and like trapped them somewhere, because
Mhm.
we don't see them again until 7,
Yep.
8 years later. So, we don't even know what Bad Intentions did with the other characters in the meantime. And we haven't seen Bad Intentions since 2017 because he's not in any other comics. And he was in issue 2, but that takes place even before this because that was his origin story. So, he's honestly one of the characters I'm most interested in learning more about out
And I
of
think
all of them.
the thing is too, like just knowing how Gary usually likes to rewrite stories of characters, like the Black Cat, like making it lucky versus unlucky. I almost
Mhm.
feel like I remember, like I don't know which episode we talked about it, where it came up in a game that Empathy Elephant might be a
Yeah.
negative or like a
Yeah.
villain because he or she knows too much because everybody trusts
Mhm.
Empathy Elephant, and I always come back to that of like at least Bad Intentions knows who it is
Right.
and what's its part and like is really like just tapped into it. Like I'm the villain of the story and I know that and I can live with that. Versus Empathy Elephant be resentful to people because like every trait, especially if you think you're really good, like you don't see the negative parts of it. Like every trait that's positive, if you have too much of it, it turns
Yes.
negative.
Yep.
Every single one. And I think that some characters maybe that we love so much because
We're
we
gonna
think they're
see it.
so positive and like everybody should be like that. If you just think too highly of it and you don't see the downside of it, that you have to balance it out with other traits, that they could actually become bigger villains than maybe
You're right.
this one.
Empathy Elephant could be one day the worst villain of all VeeFriends with a heel turn type thing of being like, you know what? I'm done with it. Everyone had, I've tried to see everyone's side of everything. I'm done with it and knows more about everyone because they all try.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. That
But
would
also
be
because they're
super
not
compelling.
those people sometimes, if you don't know yourself, or that's gonna be something negative, you see yourself as too good. You don't
Sure.
you see yourself in reality in that moment. Bad Intention sees itself in reality. He knows he's the bad guy. He's okay with it. Somebody has to do that part. And I think knowing yourself is more important than just being good. Because we both know so many people who are good for the wrong reasons.
Hmm.
And how that turns negative really fast because they're good to get the attention or to get the pat on the back or like to be
Sure.
seen as a certain way versus just being good for the sake of being good. And
Right.
like that can set them down a really negative path because if they then don't get the pat on the back or people say anything negative to them, which people will, not everybody agrees with you,
Of
they
course.
take it so personal because they've built up this, but I'm such a good person. I'm kind all the time and I'm empathetic and I'm
Why don't
compassionate
you
and I'm
like
all these
me?
things and puts themselves in like this I'm so good and not seeing like we all have flaws. It's just we're human beings. We all have things in the closet. Like it's just how it
You're
is.
so right. You're so right. And like that's where self-awareness comes in, right? But like, listen, the best thing I know I'm not for everyone, right? I'm a lot to handle. I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, right? Exactly. But I know it.
Mhm.
And I'm not offended if I'm not for someone,
Yep.
right? I think of it as music. I'm not that into, let's just say country. I actually like country, but like, let's just say I'm not into it. It's not for me.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean it's bad. That person who said that art looks
Mhm.
like it's done from a 17-year-old. No, it doesn't. But it's just not for you.
Yep.
That doesn't make it bad. So like,
Mhm.
it's just a matter of taste. I'm not everyone's taste. No one is everyone's taste.
Mhm.
And if you try to please everyone, you'll end up alienating or pleasing less people overall,
Mhm.
or worst case, you'll alienate or displease the people that you could have pleased if you were just your genuine self.
You just
Like,
become really resentful.
don't focus on the people that don't mess with you. Focus on the ones that do.
Mhm.
If you spend all your time trying to like win over the people that don't like you for whatever reason, you're neglecting the people that do like
Mhm.
you. And then they're going to stop it because you're giving the bad and you're the bad intentioned people, like you're giving them all the attention, and then you lose the
Mhm.
original, and then you're stuck with no. It's just like, it's so apparent, and I've seen it so many times, and we still see it all the time.
I've been that person.
Right.
I think that's part of why I am glad that I didn't found VeeFriends at Mint because I wasn't ready for VeeFriends.
There you
At
go.
Mint, I was that person. Like, I was such a people pleaser. Like, I needed to be like that. Like, I felt like if people don't like me, I'm doing something wrong. Like, how can you not like me? Like, I would be so trying to make it right for everybody, and it was so draining, and you get so resentful because you have an expectation on everybody else. Like, and I had
True.
to really learn that you not liking me has nothing to do with me. It's like that doesn't make me a bad person. It's just like there's 8 billion people on this planet. Not
True.
everybody's gonna like you, but it took me a really long time to learn that. Like that's why I can empathize with the people who are like that now, but I also know it's a you decision to not be like that. I chose not to be like that and
True.
do that work. Like
You
go
know
to
what?
therapy, read, spend time with myself of like the uncomfortable, like being honest with myself, like, yeah, you are like that. And it's and like and I wore like people pleasing and perfectionism like a badge of honor. That was like, I thought I'm such a good person for trying to be perfect and be good for everybody. And it's like, you're not pleasing anyone. Like you're
Right.
just being resentful all the time. The moment somebody is not giving you like, because you're constantly doing everything for everybody else, you're also not doing anything for yourself. So,
Yes.
but you have to still, somebody has to take care of you. So you kind of expect it. You expect that everybody else now takes care of you because you take care of everybody else. And so you're
Right.
just mad at the world all the time.
But
And it
it's
was
not
just
easy.
like, no, it was, like, hard to sit down and it's like, "This is what you're doing this to yourself. It's not somebody else doing it to like, you are choosing to be this way. You don't have to like everybody. Not everybody has to like you. You can be kind and still not be liked, and that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad
Right.
person. Doesn't make you less worth or anything, and, like, that it took me a lot of therapy and, like, self-reflection to learn that and, like, really hard moments, but, like, since I've been through it, I know it's possible. You just have to make that choice.
Honestly, VeeFriends kind of gave me that, not the characters, not the traits,
Mhm,
not actual VeeFriends, but the people I've met through it, like,
mhm,
and the streaming really helped with that, and the people who've helped, because like you find, and that's why I love Comic Con. Like, you're with like-minded people,
mhm.
for and for so long you're just doing the things that you feel like you should. Like, I wore a suit to work for 10 years. Me. I wear sweatpants and black t-shirts and Donkey Kong. Like, before you have anyone here, anyone listening to that, like, no one. I wore a shirt and tie tucked into like slacks for 10 years because that's what I thought. That's what I was supposed to
Mhm,
do. Like in high school, you play a part to try
mhm,
to fit in, and then you
mhm,
learn that it doesn't fucking matter when you're gonna get liked for the wrong reason,
mhm,
and then you're faking it, and then when you when you reveal yourself, the people that are like that, whether that's their authentic self or not, they're not going to rock with you anymore because that's not
mhm.
you. So just be you, and the people that are like you will find
Thank
you,
you. It's one of my
and
favorite things.
then right, and then that's who you rock. That it's just like
Yep.
that's what like nothing to do with the characters.
Mhm,
uh, you know Nothing to do with Garrett. Like, it happened from the stuff that I got from getting into it though. The people that I've met through it,
Yeah.
the people listening right now, because you're not listening if you hate me,
Yep.
right? I mean, maybe you do. I'm okay with it.
Yep. That's a you problem.
Yeah,
That took me a long time too, is like being okay with like and I'm not saying that I'm completely over it. I think I have moments
of course,
where
because you're a
I'm
human.
emotionally not as strong and like things bug me more or like they get more to me. But it's always like I'm now aware of like when I have those moments, it's for me to figure out why is that still there. And like for me to like I can't change you. I don't want to change you. And I need to learn for myself to be okay with that. And like why does it bother me with this and this person? Why do I want to have a relationship with this and this person?
Right.
That I value their opinion. Um that has helped. But like we're humans, like we all have moments where it's just
And I'd rather like cut to the chase, right? Like I appreciate when like like my kids have a friend, like baseball team parents, we tried to like game nights and stuff like that. And they don't like me because like the guy wants to be like the alpha and all this stuff. And I don't pander to you. Like I'm not
Mhm,
gonna let you be so, really controlling, right? And
mhm,
you can't control. I'm not someone who's like you're not going to do that to me, and it's not because I need to be the alpha. I don't care, but I just don't like that you want to be so bad,
mhm,
and then I mess with him. Everyone thinks it's funny except them. We don't get invited back. I don't give a shit, right?
mhm,
you know my wife is like, stop losing us friends, and I'm like, they're not friend. Like, I'll
mhm,
fake it if you want. If you truly like them and whatever, like, that's fine. I can hang with anyone.
mhm,
I'm likable in the beginning. It's when I start being myself that I might turn some people off, and that's fine. I'd rather cut to the chase, like to know I learned really quick. First game night, these are not my people. So
mhm,
now I don't have to go to 5 more to get to that point. But it's having said all that, it's not a good feeling. You don't enjoy
mhm,
learning someone doesn't like you. I don't care in the fact that, like, why don't they like me? I want to be their
mhm,
friend and they don't want to be my friend. I was so nice to them. Like, I brought them gifts. I brought, this what I don't care. It still doesn't mean that it's a good feeling. It's not a
mhm.
good feeling to find out someone doesn't like you, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever, that got real deep from this, but that's again, like, this is what this issue did and
Mhm.
does.
Which I love, like, that's what these comics are, like, that's why I read them. I don't just, like, read them because it's a funny story or something, like, I wanna get something out of it. I wanna feel
Sometimes,
something, you like,
sometimes,
something
yes.
something comes up for you and you're like it's that we talked about it with DJ, like, it's like therapy. Whatever
Yeah.
comes up, like, you have to explore of, like, why does it come up? Why does it bother you? Or why are we having this conversation right now?
Mhm.
It means something to both of us. It was part of our life at some point or maybe still is, and, like, it's a growth we both had to go through and be okay with and still learning to be okay with. Like you said, like, it's never a good feeling, like, when somebody like, and I feel like then there's even stages in it of, like, being okay with somebody not liking you, but then I feel like the next stage is when somebody talks shit about you, being just okay with that. Like, it's one thing if
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
just doesn't like you versus, like, spreading it to others and they're
Sure.
like, "Oh my gosh, what if the whole group doesn't accept me anymore?" Like, that feeling when that came up the first time, I was like and then again, but it was, like, for me to figure out, do I care? Or do I
No,
only care, like, that because the people who really truly know me and who I wanna hang out with, they know me. They will
right.
come to
They're
me,
not
they will
gonna get
ask
swayed
me,
by
they will
someone
talk
else.
to me about it. And
Right.
the rest, like, it took me a really long and I think it was really last year when we went through that stuff, that I learned to, like, be okay with, like I've always just had a really small friend group of,
Mhm.
like, maybe 5 to 10 people, tops, that I'm close with and I ride with and they know about me, and the rest are acquaintances, like,
Sure.
my whole life, even in, like, teenager and everything, I always had, like, a smaller group of people that I'm just really, really close with, and I think the same is for me in VeeFriends too, that I'm friendly with a lot of people and I'm kind to a lot of people, but, like, my core group is I keep it very, very small of, like, who I share, who I truly am every day. It's not that I'm hiding who I am, it's just, like, to get that part of me, you have to kinda earn that. by sharing things with me. And I think we are part of that group, and like there's other people who like, because we've been through different situations together, or we have shared personal moments, like, or like what happened in our lives, that gives you then that trust, security of like, I can trust you. You're part of my inner circle. Like, and like some people need that. They need like hundreds of people around them, and that's like feels good for them. It's like, I can't keep track of shit. It's like I
No.
can't have a big group. I just
Here's
can't.
the-
Like,
I'm not like, if you need me to remember your birthday, we're not going to be close. We're just not. And it's not because I don't care. I don't know Jay's birthday. I don't know your birthday. I just don't.
I have it in my calendar, and that's how I know. That's why I
Right.
write shit in
So,
my
like,
calendar. That's you. I wouldn't remember shit.
I don't even put them in. I don't. Jay, I try not to bring up Jay. Here's the thing. He's my business partner. Known him for years now. We're contractually obligated together. He just filed taxes, or he
Mhm.
he spelled my name wrong. He consistently spells my name wrong. I'm not kidding. He just sent me a form that I need to submit for my personal documents. My name is spelled wrong. I've corrected him 100 times. I don't go, you're not my real friend. I don't give a, like, you're just
Mhm.
dumb. First off, and he's going to hear this and be like, what the fuck? Because it happened today. And I go, bro, stop spelling my name wrong. This is a legal document. I just like but like you and I actually have had an issue, not an issue, but like we had a thing in the past on, from group chats or whatever, misunderstanding. But I think it's more of like how we react to that led us to become closer friends is
Mhm.
because I cared enough that I thought you were upset, and I reached out to you on the side and been like, listen, here's what I understand where you're coming from. Here's where I'm coming from. And I had no ill, and like we smoothed it out completely.
Mhm.
And I think that made us, and I think that's where I say, like, don't judge us on when we fuck up, judge us on how we handle the fuck up afterwards.
But also
So
like understanding for friendship, it has to come from both sides.
yeah,
Like we both wanted that friendship, like enough that we felt like it's something to work on. Like whatever the like that issue was in that moment, like I know what it was, but the other people don't.
sure.
Um, it was still worth it for us to like, let's work through this. And there's
Yeah,
friendships where I was like, not worth it for me.
sure.
We're just not there, or like it just doesn't click, or like some people just like want to make it work so like you just have to make it work with that person. I was
It
like, you
shouldn't be forced.
don't. Like
It should
some
be,
friendships just, and it's the same like some friendships you're just naturally there. It just clicks. You can't even describe what it is, if it's personality type or, and with others, it doesn't matter how often I met them, it just never really does. It
yeah. Someone said it, I don't remember who, but it's always stuck with me is there's every single person in your life, there's a measurable distance that you have to be for me to like or love you.
Mhm.
Right? So like not just friends, but like family. I have family that I need to be at a certain distance for me to
Mhm.
love you. If we get closer, it becomes turmoil. So like
Mhm.
I've learned to, like, if someone and I are like getting close, texting, talking, whatever, becoming friends, and then there's a time where we got close enough that it started to not be fun.
Mhm.
Like, this isn't friendly anymore. Why does it feel like we're,
Mhm.
always at, and then we stop, we slow down on talking, and I'm talking about family here. And then it becomes great. This
Mhm.
is the distance I have to be at to be close with you.
Yep.
We can't get closer than this. And I'm talking people I've known my entire life. And I only recently, because anytime we got closer, it was like, ugh. And I'm
Mhm.
like, why the fuck are we always fighting? Like, why do you make me feel this way constantly? It's because you got too close.
Mhm.
You're past that. So there's a distance from every person that I've learned. This is where we need to be for us to have a great relationship. And so
I like that. I've never heard of that theory, but it makes a lot of sense. I think we all have like family members that just
right. Because like at a certain closeness, you reveal more of yourself and they
Mhm.
reveal more of themselves. And at that point, you might learn something about someone that you're like, you know, this is where we have to kind of stay. But if you just continue to push it and open up more and you find out more about that, then you're
Mhm.
like, I don't like, this is not too much. So, um, I've always thought of that, and it's so wildly true. The best is when you get closer and you realize you like the person more, and then you
Mhm.
like the other person more. I think like it sucks where there are some people that I go, the closer I get with them, the more they don't like me. Right? It's a
Mhm.
terrible feeling, especially if you like that person. But like the closer I get with you, the more the more you don't like that's where it's like, okay, when you start to feel that, you kind of back off and then you stay there. And if you can push it, that's when it breaks. And then if you keep pushing it and pushing it, then it's done. It's done. And that's when you lose that person. I might just be stalling because the next part is the emotional part for me.
But these are like, I think these moments when we talk about like real stuff is where people really tune in because they get it. That's why people are in
Or
VeeFriends.
they tune out because they don't want to hear it. But I don't care.
Yep.
Our fucking show.
Let's talk
Don't
about
tell us what to do.
this one first. Like
Okay. Yeah.
where he is exposed to
Yep.
the green part, which I think is causing him to be sick.
Oh,
Because
you
he's kind
think?
of turning green. And I think it might just be the light, but he's turning green. Like bad intention leaves again into his portal, whatever it is,
Mhm.
and then there's some green smoke. Which again, if you've read other comics, green is a common color for magical things, anything. If it's like the carrot of smoke right now, if it's the sword from Kind Warrior, like there's
Yeah.
multiple comics now that have the green in it that does something to people.
Hmm. I did
Because
not
right
connect
after
that
he's
it made him sick,
in
and
the hospital a year later.
right, the next one, and they did say, "Don't touch it, it's poison." They never
Mhm.
show him actually touching it though, but maybe just being that close proximity
Mhm.
is what led to it, and that smoke is some sort of unnatural poison that caused him to get sick because they don't really say what he has, right?
Yep.
But this one just guts me, this end here, because especially where he says, I really wish I could, but I got to listen to the doctor's orders. You know, Big Ed is in the hospital. He's not looking great. If everything works out, I'll be ripping packs with you soon. Ugh. Stop it. Stop it, DJ.
And then his wife saying like,
You
You
should.
shouldn't say," and even though she stops the sentence and doesn't finish it, we know what it means. Like,
Yeah.
she knows already that
She
he's not
knows.
gonna make it out of that hospital.
Right. And he knows it too, where he says it's okay.
Mhm.
But then like the part that kills me is the son's still excitement because he's young enough and like he
Mhm.
looks like he's the same age as my son and my kids. And I'm like, if I told my kids that, they would just believe it and take it at face value because they can't grasp the reality of the situation. You know, like the kiss that, she's probably thinking this is the last time. He
Mhm.
says, hopefully I'll be here. He's still making a joke, but like the kid's happiness leaving the hospital, the big smile on his face,
Mhm.
with the sadness of the face of the dad in the background, the concerned face of the mother looking back, it just kills me.
Mhm.
The innocence that is about to be lost to Mikey, that big happy smiling face, the hug between them where they're both smiling because that second Ed is happy because he's holding his son, and then
Mhm.
the next one being pure sadness between two people that know the reality, and then
Mhm.
the last panel of that page just crushes me.
But as a parent, you would do the exact same. Like,
Yes,
because, like, that's I think that's the hard part of it, like, you just know how it feels as a parent, like you said, like, Mikey's also young enough to I don't think he would understand really what it means, like, your dad might not gonna make it, and, like, you don't wanna put he's gonna feel like shit anyways once dad passes. Might as well, like, savor those last couple of days,
of
moments,
course.
whatever it is, of, like, keeping it positive, so, like, I feel like you can if you have kids, you can put yourself so much into this moment of, like, I would do the exact same, but it sucks. Of like because you see his child in it. You see Mikey and you see your own child. Like
Yeah,
there's
I
no
do.
way as a good parent you don't. Like we've all been there. Like that's the worst case. None of us. Okay, the worst case is your child. Something
Right.
happened to them. But like second one is like you're not making it and you're not going to be there. Not just.
Correct.
It's not even about me not experiencing her life, knowing it would suck for her not losing
Yeah.
like it just like that is just.
And then the next bit where he says, I don't want this. It's like, I'm not ready. It can't. Like, it's the most gut wrenching thought. And it makes you, it's like that scenario is what makes you like, anytime you're going to like eat fucking or smoke a cigarette or drink alcohol, it's just like this happens all the time. Right.
Mhm.
Parents leave and die and their kids are still there. It's a reality that happens so often. You think it's not for me, especially if you're healthy or whatever, but like it can happen at any point. And then the hand reaches over, the fearless fairy hand reaches over, and then the angel's there. It's like the perfect ending. This one just,
which we have talked about it, I think, in comic number 3, how Fearless Fairy has so much expression, only having eyes. It's the first time I see a mouth on Fearless Fairy, like ever. So I don't know if it was intentionally or just to like make it extra, like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like it just seems to be like calming and we got you and like.
And as
Just
much as
being there of like because he's so, I think, dying and knowing you're dying, there's a lot of fear of like
course.
I don't know what it's gonna be, and I think it doesn't matter like what you believe in or like you don't know what's coming after. Is it gonna hurt? Is there gonna be another like what is the next step gonna be? Am I gonna feel anything? Like none of us knows. I think that uncertainty, not just you in between of like I'm never gonna see these people again, most likely. And I don't know what the fuck is coming. Like, it is probably, especially if you know it's happening.
Right.
Like, it's probably one of the worst feelings.
Right. Anyway, so then the next panel, in this circumstance, it's V-World or whatever, right? And there's that hot air balloon that is in issue 3, going off. And then he has where do we start? He's now happy again. He's got, because of that. And then there's these black swirls that I feel like also came up was that in issue 1? Where else was there these swirls? God, it was in another issue.
I don't remember seeing them.
Fuck.
I just noticed there's a Colosseum. Is that the
There's
Colosseum?
Like ruins. I don't know. It doesn't see. It looks like more ruined. It's definitely ruins. I don't know.
But him also like saying in that thing like, where do we start? It's almost like once he is in that new world, V-World, he's like, I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like from being so scared, not knowing what's happening, of like once you enter that, I assume we're in the 5th dimension right now. Like you're like, you're okay with it.
Yeah, he's at peace.
Yeah.
Those swirls, isn't that from Monster issue with the grandfather and the whatever? You should know that.
There is some in there. I don't see them as the same type.
Okay, I have to just go look.
But I would have it handy. You know that?
Well, isn't...
They're more like a gray swirl. Like the sticker has it too.
Right.
It's not, that's what like, I know what it looks like, but it's like, it's not the same.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Swirly. But I could see.
Fair enough.
Since it's like between him and his son.
Right.
So I could see that being a connection.
Well, all right. I think it's such a good issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is for the world of VeeFriends. It really is. I mean, and it has the emotional notes. It has some funny notes. It has some world building. It's got to be, I think I love rereading an issue and being like, not knowing if it belongs in the top 5 contender. You know what I mean? And I feel like it should, because it really,
It sets up so much.
It sets up so much. So well done. And I'm glad we got to dive into it more because when DJ was on, we got to talk about it because I remember talking about certain things with him, but it's DJ and we ended up geeking out over comics or just VeeFriends in general. So we didn't get to go in depth as much as we just did. Because we are at like a little over an hour now. You said you have maybe one of the quicker games, and we'll save the disastrous one for next week. Sorry, everyone.
Do a blind ranking.
Okay, blind ranking.
So you don't know what's coming. So you have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 7.
And it's blind ranking what? Covers, you said?
Covers. VeeFriends covers.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it could be from issues you really like, cover artist, and so you don't know what's coming.
Okay.
Mad Robot. Just by Todd Beats.
Todd Beats, Mad Robot. I do like that one. Even more. I like him more than the happy one. It's 1 through 7. But there are issues I like more. I'm going to put it in the middle at 4.
Okay.
That's a safe pick.
Andrew Drillon ones.
Just the cover 3?
But his was like...
Right, with the world.
Like the distortion and stuff. And
Yeah. With the whole world and they're dropping in. It's 1 or 2. I'm just trying to think if there's one I like more. I do. I think it's I'm gonna go 2. And I'm only saying that because it's like the main character, what's her name? Anna. Like she's not my favorite character. So like the actual art of it is outstanding. The world behind it is outstanding. But it's centered around Anna, who is not my favorite character. So that's the only reason where I can think of maybe leaving a 1 spot open.
I can see that. Cover number 1. J. Scott Campbell.
Shit. It's crazy because it's J. Scott Campbell, but I think I'm already not happy with the list. I'm going to go 5. And that's crazy, but I'm going to go 5.
Fairy. Which was the
base.
It has a base.
I gotta remember. It's like them facing off, right? It's the fairy and Bad Intentions facing off. Yeah. God, that's a nice one. But I like a lot of other ones more. I do like that one, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it at 7.
Last one. The new, which we talk about next week, Sienkiewicz,
which if you didn't say it, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I love Sienkiewicz, Bill Sienkiewicz. I have to say I'm saying it over and over so that I try to remember it when we record that in a little bit. Yeah. If it was, where are we at? I have 1.
You have 1,
3, and 6.
3, 6.
It's crazy. This is crazy. It's crazy to put at 6, but I'm putting it at 6. And it's only because it's like, you don't see the emu really. And like, it's so good. It's so good, but like, it's 2 characters that I'm not that big on. It's, but it's so good. I feel stupid even putting it there. Just so we know, I'm not happy with this list.
The next one is Jim's cover for comic 11, The Alien, the Astro. Where it's the Astro, and then you can reflection of the alien.
I'm happy. Fuck.
You have 1 and 3 left.
I'm in a bad spot. That one's so good. I'll be gutted if I put it at 3 and you say one that is just like, mm, and that ends up being my number one. So, but I feel okay putting that at number one. I'm putting
Yep.
that at number one because that's an outstanding cover. Jim rushed it. It's not my favorite of all of them, but it's so good that I'm very okay with it being number one.
I also want to say I did write them all. Like, I'm not making them up on the fly. I did write them all down. Just cover
I
that.
know. So you could have saved a number one for me at last, but
No, I literally went through. I wrote A through G, wrote them all down, and I'm just going down the list. I did not organize them or anything. So
I got you. You didn't do it in a specific
no.
let's screw Tom over order. See, here's my thing. I love that cover. It's not my number one, but I'm okay with it being there because it's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would put, depending on what's left, there are more ones that I'll be upset at putting at number one than there would be then if you say one of the best ones, or you say, let's just say you say my favorite one and I have to put it at 3, that's still high. But putting one that is there are a lot, not a lot, but there are more that are not deserving of the number one spot left that I would be more upset about. So
okay,
what is my number 3 spot?
Which will be number 3, the Blood Red Mac.
I'm okay with that. It's still a good spot. I think I like Drollan's more than the Blood Red. I know that's crazy as well. I just think it's that good. I'm actually very okay with this. I'm okay with the list. Again, I would shift some things around. I would put J. Scott Campbell's a little bit higher. What did I put at 6? The Form Fights. That might move up. I might move the Robot just because it's a little bit simplistic. It's not as whatever. I might move that down a few spots. Ask me on a given day, that top 3 could be interchanged. Yep. So I'm okay with the top 3. That was fun.
We can do another game where we can Ferry as the main character or Gary B as the main character. If you could choose for our next comic.
Ferry.
Are you more of and it's funny that ChatGPT gave me those two, a focused falcon mindset or a patient panda mindset? You personally.
Am I more?
You more focused or more of a patient person?
I'm more focused, I think, which is funny because I'm neither, to be honest. I'm neither of those things because I'm not that focused, but I do my best work when it's the deadline up against the wall. I can zero in and be like, I got to get this done. Patient, I have to be forced to be patient.
Hosting a community event or creating a new VeeFriends collectible?
Whatever the second one was.
Creating a collectible?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be honest, it's not close.
Oh, like hosting?
No, I don't. I hate planning events. SJ, he wants to do an event all the time. It's always me that is the reason we don't. I go, you can do, I will gladly attend. I hate planning them. I hate it. And then nothing goes right. You got a venue, then the food, and then what about this? And what about that? And then all the people that back out that are so into it and then ask for, oh, it's a nightmare. I just don't like planning things. I love events. I don't like planning them. If you said attending the community event, I'd still do the collectible thing, but it would be closer.
Would you rather be wanting to be written in a comic or created a character after you?
Oh, God. A character after me would be really cool because that might get featured in a comic, which then it's both things. So I'm going to go with that. That's egotistical for me to say, but here's the thing. There's already a character, the Tomcat, that could be created into a character. So there we go.
Rather have a comic signed by Gary or the cover artist?
Cover artist.
Would you rather have another origin story of a character or a crossover with another universe?
Crossover with an existing IP, a different IP?
Like VeeFriends with Marvel, like VeeFriends with Daredevil.
Oh, that would be so much fun. Even though any time of those big crossovers, the story usually is not great. It's all just like a gimmick. That would be fun though. We're gonna get origin story, so I'm gonna say the crossover.
I felt like,
Even though like because like both companies want to protect their things, that the story can't be great. So it's fun.
breaking a huge comic theory on the podcast or having a team member on we haven't had on yet. Like breaking major alpha about the comics or having somebody on we really wanted on.
Oh gosh. The alpha. I know that's weird to say, but like I feel like that would make, if we had something like massive that we were able to, like, we decoded, not like DJ showing us the Sienkiewicz. What is it?
Sienkiewicz. That's what I say, Sienkiewicz.
Okay. Like DJ showing us that cover early and we had to not reveal it and all of that. But like if it's something that we cracked and like we revealed, we can make content over it. We would get more people into it. And then I think getting people from the team on the show is, I don't want to say easy, but as the show grows, it benefits them to come on here maybe a little bit more. So I'll go with that. Now, if you said like getting a huge comic creator on here, that might have made it like not VeeFriends related or on the team, that might have made it more difficult.
Ooh, Gary appearing on our podcast or us appearing on his podcast?
Ooh, that's interesting. Us on his. Is that crazy? That might be.
I think those have. I think his is going to be viewed more, and then more people would see us. But I don't know if it would lead to them also checking us out. Versus if we have him on, more people would maybe watch ours because they want to see him.
Right.
So it could be either way.
No, I changed my answer. I want him on ours. I think that, yes, his will be viewed more, but the conversion wouldn't even be close. I listen to people on his podcast all the time that I never follow up with. Zero. I listen, I go, oh, whatever. And then that's it. But I think that would be bigger for us for our podcast. The only reason I said the other way at first is because I'm like, okay, he will basically be interviewing us. And that's pretty cool. Versus us, talking about an issue or interviewing him about the comic. Like we know about it. That's why it's like when people say like, oh, if you can meet Gary or ask him anything, what would you say? And I'm like, I know what he's going to answer. The answer to, like, I would ask him something that no one else would care about. I'd be like, oh, I own this business and we're doing this. So like, what's your advice for that? And for the most part, like all of those questions, I could probably, the answer is content. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Cause he's so public and I've watched so much of his stuff. I basically know what he would say. So like me interviewing him is not nearly as, groundbreaking. It's going to be hearing the same similar stuff that you hear on all the things. It's just on ours. I don't know if I have a good interview in me to ask him about that's going to be compelling or different than what he's already put out there. Where if he asks us, he narrates it, he can probably take it to a place where we become more interesting or entertaining or something like that might intrigue people. So that was the reason I said that. But I think overall we'll have more conversion of subscribers and exposure of the people that we actually want to listen if he came on ours.
I agree. I think the same as me. Like that's why I said last time that I don't really talk to him because I don't know what to ask him. Like there's nothing that he already hadn't put on the internet. But I do feel like him coming on the podcast, I think my hope would be that he gets excited talking about it and maybe leak something. That would be like my
sure.
Like DJ has shared some stuff that probably he didn't go into like, I'm going to share this tonight. It's like he just got excited and was like, we have a conversation. I think I would love that.
Yeah. When I see Gary and we talk, like it's not me asking him something because it's all anyone wants from him. So I just go up and just like BS and like he usually ends up asking me or us questions. Like, so what do you think about this? And I'll say and be like, oh, it's awesome because of this, this, and this. And he's like, exactly. And then we just end up chatting, and it's organic that way. If I go up with a question, you're going to get the canned answers. Now, if you don't follow him as deeply or regularly as you and I do, you might not know those answers. So he's so used to repeating stuff. It's so dumb. Like, he has said the same things 100 times. And yeah, sometimes I'm like, I know, you idiot. Why are you asking that? We already know that answer, right? But that person doesn't know. Right. So like, that's where he doesn't mind answering it over and over. But like, I get in my head of like, I've already said that. If I say it again, people are going to get bored. Yet here he is saying it 100 times over and people still listen. So I don't know.
I think I know the answer to this one. VCon or Comic Con?
VCon. I already told you that today when
but the other people don't know that.
I know. See, I'm repeating myself and I already thought you were bored about it. I'm just kidding.
An episode where we both completely agree or completely disagree?
Disagree. It's my favorite.
It was fun, wasn't it?
It was, even though people thought I was mean.
I know. Guys, like, I think that's the other thing too. Like, people don't know us enough, like how much we are friends with each other. Like, we can bullshit with each other. Like,
yeah, we've done
the thing is too, I always find it so funny. It's the same with me and Soggy too. People always think like that you're the mean one or Soggy's the mean one, and I know that I'm the meaner one of all three of us.
Yeah. It's kind of true sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just louder. That's all.
Yeah. But I'm definitely meaner. But you won't know that if you're not friends with me.
That's right.
The podcast becoming the go-to for discussions, or the podcast influencing the direction of the future comics. Like, meaning because we talked so much about like a topic and then others liked it too, that they decided we're going to do a spin-off of that specific comic.
I'd rather be the go-to. I don't want to influence it. They're doing good. Let them keep going. They make good stories. We read them and analyze. People come to us to hear about it. That's what I want.
Sounds good. That was it.
Well, thank you for listening. We have some more stuff to do. So thank you for listening from us here at Is It Canon. I'm Tom and that's Ann. And like always, read more comics.
Read more fucking comics, especially VeeFriends ones. They're so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like, cry a little bit. Read issue 1A, and if you don't cry, you're soulless. And get a fucking soul.
And talk about them. Talk about them on our podcast. Talk about them on socials. The more you talk about them, the more other people get interested. The more people read them.
Yeah. Video yourself reading that last page and crying, and then post that. People want to feel things. I just don't want to cry on camera. You do it all the time.
I have no issues with that anymore.
That'll shatter my image. What a stupid thing to say. All right. Bye, everyone.